Sean, good to see you, man. Welcome to Pop Alternative.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I've been really excited to ask you this because this can go either way. You could be like, no, not really, or you might have a really good answer, but we'll shoot the shot and do it. Why not? You know what I mean? The scale is so big with this film, right? We've seen
Oh
all
yeah.
these characters over the years. Did it feel like playing Jasper, or at times did it feel like playing a different character? Because so much happened before that. You know what I mean by that?
I mean, it still felt like playing Jasper for sure.
Okay.
But I think there was a little bit of a maturity thing that I was trying to keep in check as well. Because, this isn't, I guess we could say it isn't bucket Jasper. We've moved very much past that. And it also reflects on where I am as an actor.
Yeah.
I'm 23 now. I'm very focused on moving into that young adult kind of area. And it's always great to go back to Henry Danger but like that was very much like a different that was a different lifetime effectively. Like that was me as a kid, and I
Yes.
could still go back to it. And that was the fun thing with the movie, is being able, and that was something I very much discussed with the writers, with Chris and Jake. And it was like, look guys, I think at the time when we were talking about it, I was like, I'm 21. Like I can't be playing, goofy little Jasper anymore. Like I can still do it, but I need to move on career wise as well, because I am older, I am more mature. And they were like, yeah, of course, like that's, we completely understand that. And like there was a lot of liberty to have to be had with the creativity side of it. They're like, anything that you want to discuss, any ideas that you have. So it still got to be Jasper. It was
Yeah.
still
But
Jasper. It
you
was still his
understand where I'm
lovable.
coming from a little bit, though,
Yeah,
right? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, his core was still there. At the core, it's
Yes.
still Jasper. It's still the lovable, puppy dog Jasper. But I would say the best way to put it, it's still the golden retriever Jasper. But now he has aged. He's older, and he's got the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. And
For sure.
he still might be a kid on the inside, but that responsibility is going to change anybody. And that's just what's affected him. He's much more mature, and he's taking that responsibility. It's very important to him. So.
And this was a character that you played for many years, and there's kind of the goofy, like you said, Jasper with the laugh track. How did you prepare for those more serious scenes with Jasper and Henry, where it's like not funny at all, right? Like if you think about it, there's
Mhm.
moments of the film where are like very serious with what's going on with Jasper.
Yeah, and like every actor's got their own little secret, and there's always something, like, especially the best way I can describe it is like, if you've got an actor that's got to like ball their eyes out, I would guarantee that somebody's always got something they're thinking about in the back of their head. And I just tried to pull from little moments like that. Obviously, we didn't get too serious to that point where I had to like really pull from something deep, and then you kind of get stuck. But like I was able to just kind of pull from life's experiences, and those times where you might have gotten into an argument with a friend of yours, or you've had similar experiences with friends of the past. So I think that was probably something I tried to do, was to try and kind of relate it to experiences. And then also, yeah, I mean, just as a whole, just really keep it grounded. Like there was always something in the back of my mind being like, again, you're playing Jasper, but like this is the newer you. This is you. Like, take it seriously. I guess the best way to put it is, on the show we were always just having fun, and we were still having fun doing the movie. But there was also a part of like this mindset of, this is a job. You can still have fun, but since you need to keep in that kind of mature level, you need to realize that you need to also pay attention to what you are doing as
Yeah,
an actor. So like, don't make it too big. Still keep it in that realm that you want to be in, but you can still do that while having fun.
absolutely. There's different steps of finding out that you're going to kind of return as Jasper for Henry Danger the movie, right? There's kind of the official, like, there's always like rumblings, no matter how it is. There's always like the rumblings, right? But then there's the official, right? So you're
Yeah.
waiting, and then you get scripts, right? And then you go film it, and that comes up. There's different steps. Take me through that script to screen journey with this film specifically, in regards to like finally getting the pages and then seeing it come to life, because maybe you don't know like what it's going to look like color palette wise. Maybe you're not thinking about a lot of that, but take me through that, because the color palette and how it looks and the dark component like was crazy to me. So I'm wondering if you had ideas when you're reading the script that it was going to look like that. Like, what's that script to screen journey like?
So I had a little bit of that vision, because I actually had a meeting with the writers,
Okay.
with Jake and Chris, and they basically pitched it to me. I mean, we knew that a movie was always going to be kind of cooking.
Yeah.
I think when we ended Henry Danger, there was this possibility of doing a dystopia show that was kind of tossed around. We all really loved that set at the end of the show. We were like, this is awesome. I would love to do like almost a CW-esque show with this set. Like this would be so cool, and we can make it mature and a little bit grittier. And that kind of got tossed around for a little bit, but ultimately the direction went more towards Danger Force and kind of keeping that lifespan going. But then we knew that like a movie was the next idea. We just didn't know when or where, but we knew that was kind of in talks past the dystopia thing. And then, I mean, look, Jace is an executive producer on this, and Jace being Jace was like, here's the scripts, here's what we're working on. And I think I was with him one day, and he had a meeting with the writers, and I got to come pop in and listen to what was being talked about and all the different ideas. But I mean, that was all still, even the scripts that I was not sent, that was still kind of like nothing was official. And it wasn't until I got a call from Chris and Jake, and they were like, we want to talk to you. We think we have a solid footing of what we want this movie to be. Nickelodeon's on board. Everybody's kind of in a green light area. So we want to know if you're on board. And so they sat down with me and they were like, look, we understand where you're coming from. We understand that you're not a kid anymore. We understand that you're not Bucket Jasper. We don't want to do anything like that. We want to put you in this kind of superhero role. We want to really progress that line further where we left off in Henry Danger. And we want this to be a little bit more mature. We want to take those ideas, kind of the ideas of what we were all kind of feeling with the dystopia set, with that kind of dystopia spinoff, and kind of comboing it all into this fun movie. And they very much reassured me. They're like, look, again, if there's anything you don't like, anything that you're like, I'm not doing that, you feel free. Like, ears are open. We can put a pen down to paper, rewrite whatever we need is. If you have ideas, go ahead and pitch them. And after that meeting, I think we had like a 45-minute long meeting, and we were just talking about it. And they were talking about some of the fun bits they wanted to do. I mean, I think we referenced Blue Mountain State on some of the kind of like some of the fun bits. And again, that kind of like, it's comedy, but it's more mature. We're not going to Bucket Jasper. And that's when I was like, I'm on board with that. I would love to see what when you guys get the script ready, go for it. So when they sent me the script, that was like the big thing that was in my brain, especially like, because we have some wacky elements in the movie. We've got the nightclub sequence, which is very bold and bombastic. But in the back of my head, I was like, think of Blue Mountain State. Think of something that it's still going to be big.
What a reference. I'm originally from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, where they shot that. So like, It's crazy how you bring that up.
So like when I was reading the script, that's very much what I was thinking. Like we had the elements in dystopia. I was like, this is going to be dark. This is going to be serious. But anytime it got to be, again, to like the Frankini party and like the cartoon stuff, like I was like, that was just the show that was in the back of my mind, because that was kind of what was referenced. It was like, again, it's going to be funny, but it's going to be a little bit more of a mature tone, and we'll have fun with it, and we'll make sure that it's not too over the top. And I kind of definitely got the gist when I was reading the script. I mean, I've always had an image of what dystopia looked like in my head. I think the reference for that was like Blade Runner. So I always kind of had that vision, especially reading the script. So it was cool to read. I was excited for it after reading it, and I was like, I'm down. I'm cool for it. Let's do it. So next thing you know, we were flying out there, doing training, started shooting it, and I mean, it looks great. Seeing the finished product, it's fantastic.
Yeah, so cool to see you back as Jasper and Henry Danger, the movie. Sean, so great chatting with you, man. Thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.